What's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to episode 90 of Bromingo. The phone number is 512-766-4646. You can call or text that number to participate in the show. We would absolutely love that. Please give us a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so you know when we drop a new episode, all those lovely, beautiful things. The
And
VIPs.
I'm the secret guest. Oh, fuck. Sorry, I interrupted, and it's uncut.
It's
Sorry.
uncut, baby. The VIPs this week are Steven Ferreira, Bill Sr., Blake Made Mike Quit, Sean the Don, and Big Daddy Pelly. I am Blake, and I am joined today again by my co-host, Billy.
Billy's back. How are we?
How's it going, Billy?
How we doing?
Billy,
how are you, Blake?
You look good. You look good. I feel all right.
Good. Excellent.
I think I'm confident the tech is going to work now, okay? I'm speaking into existence.
How I'm feeling?
How do you feel?
You want to know how I'm feeling? I feel stinky. I'm a stinky boy.
I've been so stinky today, dude. I took a shower right before this, and I started peeling. I'm sunburnt from going to Block Island, so, dude, the shower activated peel mode, so I'm molting. Dude. My nose started peeling bad.
You ran into CJ Anger, right?
Dude, yes.
In Block Island? That's so awesome. I could not believe that when I saw the picture. Just three people I would always expect to be together, and CJ Anger, a person I would never expect in my life to see anyone with. Not for any bad reason, but I just haven't heard of him in a fucking hot minute, maybe a century.
Yeah, dude. So, yeah, our old buddy CJ, he just saw in my story that we were on a boat, and he says, 30 minutes ago, Blake was on a boat. Wait a minute, I was on a boat 30 minutes ago. Hits me up, Blake, are you on Block Island? And I said, I'm on island time, baby. What's good? And yeah, dude, we linked up. We had a good time. It was a very, very good day.
I did so much theater. CJ Anger was a mainstay of the Case Theater program in my early days. I don't remember. Did he go to Diamond or something?
He transferred. Yeah, he
transferred somewhere. Yeah,
we had Spanish class together, but he transferred into another school. Yeah.
I don't remember what school he went to, but I remember he left, and that was a shame because he was a great guy, fun kid to have around. He was a little older than me, but a little younger than the older kids. So we were in a good pocket together where we spent a lot of time together in theater, and I always liked him. I always thought he was a good guy. Yeah,
no, definitely a great guy. He
looked good too. He looked like he's doing good.
Oh yeah, dude, he seemed like he's doing good. We didn't get too deep into it, but yeah, no, it seems like he's doing good.
You just run into each other on Block Island. It's all Block Island vibes. You don't bring off-island shit onto the island. That's not how it goes.
That's not how it goes. Island time, baby. Nate's not here today. Just going to double check that we're recording real quick. You guys are watching Bromingo Uncut.
Bromingo Uncut.
Uncut.
And why are we uncut?
Because we are recording at the absolute last second.
We're just squeaking it in there.
If we make this if this episode comes out on time, it will be dropped in 3 hours.
It's fine because we're gonna fucking streamline through Bromingo Uncut like you've never fucking seen before. I got a book club meeting after this.
Oh, amazing.
And it's so funny. I was telling a coworker today, and she was like, "You're in a book club?" I was like, "Yeah, it's so awesome." She was like, "Isn't that for old people?" And I was like, "Yeah, well, if you have preconceived notions of things, you never discover what it is that you truly love in this world,
Yeah, define old.
Yeah, I was like, no, and I said, this isn't even a person I know well. I haven't worked there for very long, and we're not friends. We're not coworker friends. We're just sort of like people who work together. Mm-hmm. And I was like, nah, it's just a bunch of young studs. And she didn't laugh, so it just came across as weird. You know what I mean? I was like, yeah, no, it's not old people. She was like, she asked, is it you and a bunch of old ladies? Because I said that as a joke. She was like, is that real? And I was like, no, it actually happens to be like 10 studs. And she just looked at me like, really? And I was like, no, it's just 10 guys. It's 10 guys is what I'm saying. But one of our friends' girlfriend also read the last 2 books, and I'm assuming she read this one too. So not all guys. You know what I mean? We're
right.
We're not coming at the,
The ladies
much
can be
like
studs. The ladies can be studs too.
Oh, of course. No, she's a stud. Don't get me wrong. She's a stallion. But she's not a dude. So we got that going for us. That we have a small percentage of not dude blood in our stream.
do all the guys get together first and just talk about guy stuff?
Well, first what we do is we ask her if she'll sit outside like a Muslim prayer circle, where she has to be in her own room to talk about the book, but she's the only girl, unfortunately. I did the one time I went to a mosque. That is part of how they do it. Part of the service, gender is split up.
Wow.
And one of the times I went to a mosque, the only time really. I went one other time, but there was no service going on. I was just like a book club sort of thing as well, where it's like just like a Quran reading. And this was for a class. I'm not just,
experimenting with religions.
I'm not, I'm not sampling religions. But this was the one time that I was like there. This is actually, I've stumbled upon an incredible story, but let me finish this one first. I just remembered something incredible. So I go for the one prayer service, whatever you call it. I don't know what they call it. I knew at the time. And the only other person there who I'm in with the meeting with is a woman who found Islam in prison. And she's dedicated her life to it now. And so it was a situation where she was the only girl and I was the only not real Muslim. So they put us in a room together, which felt a little fucked because she was so passionate about her religion.
Right.
But I don't think that was the intention. The intention was much more just, let's cart her off the people who don't know the prayers.
Yeah.
Or in her case, learning the prayers. In my case, don't know a damn thing,
Gotcha. Yeah.
But the reason I went there was I was taking a class, and part of that class involved a field trip to the mosque. We had to go. And I missed the field trip, so on my own time, I had to make time to go to the mosque, and, they had set it up. But lucked out really hard with the field trip not working out because my entire class went to this mosque with the professor, and a member of the community had recently died. And in Muslim tradition, they lay the body out on a table for a little while. And so my fucking class of fucking liberal arts BIPOC lesbians wanders in, all from Bushwick. They're all from Bushwick. It was a great class. I shouldn't be shitting on it. It was a good class, a really diverse, interesting, smart group of people. But they wander in with the professor, and it was like the imam or whatever it is, the prayer leader, sees them, and they said they saw in his eyes the moment where it clicked, like, the field trips today. Oh no! And there's just a dead body in the middle of the room on a pure white cloth on a table on display for religious purposes and spiritual ascendance. And they just had to stay in the room. They just chilled. They were just in a room with a dead body for the whole field trip, getting like the sort of, crash course that we were intended to be getting. And it was incredible. Coming in that next class and being like, oh, I missed a field trip. How was it? And people in class being like, it wasn't great. It was actually kind of fucked up.
We all saw
I wish
a corpse.
I wasn't there. We all saw a dead person.
Dude, have you ever seen those pictures? And I'm not sure what culture it is specifically. I think it's multiple cultures, but I feel like I've seen pictures of it being from either like the Dominican Republic or Haiti, where someone will die and they'll like stage the corpse in a way where it's like they're doing something they love.
That's Atlanta club culture right there. That's Atlanta dance party culture. I've seen those videos
where
it's just a dude from Atlanta and they've got him posted up in his normal clothes at the club, like his body's positioned with a drink in his hand, and everybody's dancing. You've never seen that in America?
Hey.
I've seen those videos in America.
Okay,
too.
I saw one that was in New Orleans.
Oh, yeah.
But
I think there's definitely, I think it is a Haitian thing, but I don't know anything about it. But I think it's a Creole thing or something. No, New Orleans, they fucking dance the coffin down the street.
They definitely do that. They definitely do that
too. Yeah. They do that too.
When I die,
Madagascar, sorry to interrupt you, but Madagascar still has a bubonic plague problem because they have a tradition of digging up the bodies to dance with them every year.
Oh.
They'll dig up their dead and dance with the corpses. And I think they're embalmed in a certain way where it's like they're not dancing with a rotten body, like they're dancing with basically a mummy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's just I don't know how prevalent it is, but I know I've read before that like part of the reason why one of the only places in the world that will still have flare-ups of Black Death, bubonic plague, is because of this this custom, which I think is worth keeping up. I think if a few people die every year from bubonic plague with pustules seeping all over them, drowning in their own pus, I think that's worth it if you get a really solid dance session in with Meme. You know what I mean?
Right. You're maintaining a culture.
Exactly. Well, that's the real answer. Is it's genuinely important to maintain traditions and ceremony and culture. So on some level, it is worth keeping up. But I'm sure there's a way to bypass all the disease. I don't know.
Doing the nay with Mima real
quick. One day we will. This is the more likely story: is that one day we'll find out Dancing with Your Dead is actually the best way to avoid bubonic plague. Just the way that you think certain things, and then in like 50 years, they're like, oh no, actually, red meat causes cancer. Are bad. It's going to be one of those things where it's like, sorry, actually, everybody's going to dance with the dead bodies of their loved ones, or COVID's never going away.
When I die, I want to be posted up at Ogie's.
That would be so legendary.
I want a wicked hazy IPA in my hands.
I think they'd let you do it, but they'd make us sit in that corner where only we sit. The one with the couch that nobody fucking goes to except sometimes us.
I call it the VIP section, but if it was a real restaurant, it would be where you sit while you wait for a table.
Yeah. If it was a restaurant, that would be the waiting area. But because it's a bar, that's the fucking VIP room.
Yeah, it's the only place with couches, man.
It reminds me of, do you remember when we used to go to Boston to do theater competitions? The bathrooms would have those rooms with the little like sofa set up in it.
Yes.
And so people would just chill in there and call it the lounge.
You know who always
had
the
gentleman's lounge. Gentleman's lounge. Nice. That's what it's called.
You know who always has lit bathrooms? Funeral homes.
Yes, they do. They have really nice bathrooms.
They always have the stall doors that are full doors.
Yep.
They got mints.
Yep.
The nicest paper towels you've ever touched.
Clean as a fucking whistle.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Funeral homes have great bathrooms. I'm actually, in many ways, my whole life feels like it's been an observation of bathrooms.
Really?
Yes.
What bathrooms are your favorite? And what do you think makes a special bathroom?
A surprisingly good bathroom that I can just pull right out of the ether because I remember how much it shocked me is the Seasons bathroom. In Swansea,
so Seasons is a convenience store. Everybody, if you don't know,
it's a convenience
store.
A gas station. You've never heard of it. This is a gas station, and you'd never expect it to have. If you put mints in the Seasons bathroom, you'd think you were at a funeral home. You'd be like, they've got like beautiful paintings up on the wall and shit. Like they're mass production paintings, but they're high quality ones,
right?
And they look good, and it smells nice in there. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm basing this off the opinion of new Seasons. Seasons has been around for a while now. Maybe the bathroom has fallen into disrepair. I don't know. But at the time, Seasons had a top-notch bathroom. 10 on a gas station bathroom scale. Maybe like a 6.5 on the regular bathroom scale. But a strong 6.5.
Do you remember when Cumberland Farms got updated?
Yeah.
What a big deal that was. First of all, what a big deal was that it was closing for 3 months.
Yeah, that was
insane. What were we going to do?
Yeah, that shook everything for sure.
Because this was the hub. This is where everyone saw everyone. You go get your Slurpees,
Facts.
in the middle of the summer, and you see everyone and you're like, oh my God, what's up? You steal Reese's peanut butter cup,
It's funny because part of why I never went to Cumbies before school was I was not mentally prepared to see anyone yet. And it was impossible to run to Cumbies before school and not see a third of the class.
Yeah.
See just fucking like 6 people you're about to see all day.
You know what everyone did too before high school? They all went to that same shitty Dunkin' that was in the mobile station.
Yeah, and
they
it was
fucked up everything every time.
Everybody, I feel like there was this like notion that it was somehow faster to go to that one, but it was the slowest Dunkin' in town. It wasn't that close to school.
No.
And it just made no sense why it was so popular before school. I guess because that's the main road, and most people take that road to get to school.
Yeah.
That makes sense, actually. But yeah, that always wowed me. I remember, God, this was a classic. There was such a line drawn in the sand between people who just didn't even turn their car off to go into Dunkin'. just keys running,
yeah.
door open.
I
trying
see
to
all
get
the
in and
time.
out of there all the time, bro. That's such a funny difference between people. Is those people that will just leave their car running and unlocked, grab their Dunkin', and then head back, and those people who are like, gotta lock my car up before I get in the line for Dunkin' where I can see my car the whole time.
Dude, I lock my car no matter what. No matter where I am, I always lock my car.
I used to have to get taken out of class because there'd be announcements, be like, Billy Broder to the office. And I'd be like, why am I getting called to the office? What the fuck? What's going on? I didn't do anything. And I'd get down there and they'd be like, yeah, I think you left all your car doors open. And I'd be like, what? This happened multiple times. I was such a dumbass. And I'd go out there and every car door would be open. And it was me. Like once
all
I'm out
four
there,
doors.
I'm remembering like, oh yeah, I grabbed this from the passenger seat and then I went to get my backpack, but it was around the other side. My bad, guys, my bad. And it was so funny because it was such an easy way to fucking kill time in school, but it was an accident every time. But then once I'm out there, it's like, hey, I bet there's some fucking shop kids out here somewhere.
Dude, one time,
wandering around.
my old minivan, doors used to open themselves.
Really?
Like,
yes,
so I had the button on the keys to open them.
Yes.
But dude, they would just open on their own sometimes. I'd wake up in the morning, my doors would just be wide open.
That's
It was
funny.
terrible. Dude,
You
absolutely
ever find
terrible.
a raccoon? You ever find a raccoon in there?
No, I never found a raccoon, never found any animals, never had anything stolen either, which is good. But dude,
That is good.
That's a terrifying thought. And then when I got my new van without the electric doors, it seemed like a downgrade at first, but then I was like, wait a minute, this is a huge upgrade. My car doors now stay shut after I close them.
There's crazy story. My friend's dad lives out here. My friend's dad, he's upstairs the other day watching tennis, not thinking, anything of it. Goes outside and his car is gone. Someone went into his house, took his keys off the table and stole his car while he was in the house. Terrifying. It was fucking terrifying. Yeah, isn't that so scary?
Dude, that is wild, man. But also, hold on. He's watching tennis. People watch tennis.
Yeah, they're big tennis fans. It's so funny.
That's even
when
crazier to me.
It's so funny when you meet a real tennis fan and they know everything about like tennis players beyond just like the few names that you've heard, but also because it's tennis and those names are the only ones that matter. Those are still the only names they talk about.
Dude, I'd rather watch golf.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Tennis is, I think if you watched both, you'd be like, wow, I'd rather fucking do anything.
I
don't think you'd want to choose between those two.
Well, dude, I don't even choose to watch the good sports.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, I find football very entertaining, and I just don't watch it.
When I got knocked out by James and I had the really bad concussion,
Yep.
I had to, they told me basically like for 2 days, all you can do is lay in a dark room. Don't look at your phone, don't watch TV. And then after those, I don't even know how long it was, but after that amount of time, you can start watching like TV that is not entertaining, was how they put it.
Wait,
they're like,
what?
they're like, once you can start looking at screens again, you still want to hold off on like anything that you're actually going to be engaged in. If you just throw something on that you're not really going to be watching intensely, that's fine. So I remember staying home from school being like, all right, today's the day I can put the TV on, but I got to find the most boring thing I can find. And for like 4 hours, I switched between women's golf, the women's PGA Tour, and Paul Ryan being sworn in as Speaker of the House. And it was so fucking funny trying to pick which of those two things was the most boring all day long. Trying to be like, which of these things do I find less, like, which is making me watch the screen less?
So you were like, Doc, what do you mean? I can't watch Mike and Molly?
Doc, hey, actually, speaking of that, I know this is uncut, but I'll send you. Oh, you've seen the pictures of me with the Mike and Molly poster, right?
I think so.
I was thinking of something you hadn't seen, but I'm realizing now it was a picture I took specifically to send to the chat you are in.
Yeah.
So you definitely saw it back in the day. I love those pictures of me holding up the Mike and Molly poster like it's my lover.
What's the story behind that?
Pictures.
You find some weird posters. You have some weird posters.
I don't have that one here, but I was in the office at Emerson, my college, and part of the design of the college was there was posters up everywhere of work that alum had done. Mm-hmm. So someone in the Mike and Molly production crew or
Right.
something, worked on Mike and Molly or a line writer.
My school had the
or
same
something.
thing with records and games.
Yeah, exactly. So that sort of thing where it's just they're just showing you like, look at what the people who went here did. Come on. It's like Mike and Molly was actually, and this is not, I'm not shitting on Mike and Molly because it was a good show. It ran for a long time. But Mike and Molly was hidden in a back room behind some filing cabinets. And I found it and was like, oh, I got to do a photo shoot with the Mike and Molly poster right now.
You have a Mike and Molly poster. You have a Chip and Dale poster.
I do have a Chip and Dale. I mean, I have a Chip and Dale poster the size of a fucking rug.
You guys, when you lived in Boston, you guys had an awesome Lady Gaga poster.
Yeah, the Joanne album cover. Yeah. That didn't belong to me, but it was funny because I was the only one there who had heard the album.
Really? Well, it's a good one.
I remember it's a great album, but I remember laughing at that when they hung it up, and I was like, "Oh, this album's so good!" And they were all like, "I haven't heard this album."
What about that video that you sent to the group chat with Bradley Cooper, man? I still don't know if it was real or fake.
That's from A Star Is Born, the movie.
Wait, what?
Yes, it's a scene from a movie. This happened. So for context for listeners, I sent the iconic clip of Bradley Cooper's character in A Star Is Born pissing his pants and passing out at the Grammys, which is a very great scene in the movie. And fucking you and Christian were like, "Oh shit, this is real." It's like, no, it's not fucking real. Bradley Cooper's together. He's put together.
At first, I watched that and I was like, whoa. One, Bradley Cooper's way more fucked up than I thought he was. Two, I like Bradley Cooper way more now.
Wait, no. Bradley Cooper is way cooler than I thought he was. Two, I'm a fan of Bradley Cooper, apparently.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know, big shouts out to Bradley, but I respected him more after I saw that. I was like, oh, that's very humanizing, you know?
I was really impressed when I found out he played Rocket in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, because that's like actual voice actor work. Like he's not, you know.
If you didn't know it was him, you wouldn't.
Yeah.
You wouldn't expect
most famous celebrities, I feel like, you know, when they're doing their voice work, it's like they're barely doing it.
Right, or they're playing a version of themselves, basically.
Yeah, or they're just doing their own voice, and that's why they got the role, which is a little more fair, I guess. I will say, I love this one story about, I can't remember if it's David Spade. I think it's David Spade doing all the voice recordings for Emperor's New Groove.
Okay, yeah.
He plays Cusco.
Oh, great movie.
That's the main character's name, right? Cusco?
Yeah, I think you got it.
Yeah. He the only reason I know it is from the scene that everybody knows of, the Cusco's poison, the poison for Cusco.
Dude, but the guy Kronk's voice in that movie, that guy's great too.
Yeah, he is great. He's great. He's really good. Joe Swanson, legend.
Yep.
He was recording for the movie, David Spade, or it's Chris Rock, I don't remember, but David Spade, and they decided to light it. The room he was in was just like a black, just a recording studio.
Yeah.
You know exactly what it is. It's just very plain, dull, black, boring room. Mm-hmm. And so they put lights on him and gave him a stand as if like they tried to basically recreate the feeling of being on stage doing stand-up. And they said like the fucking difference was like night and day. And his performance was fine. In the first place, he was doing a good job. And then they like gave him more of a comfortable environment, and like it was like electricity. Like he just really nailed it.
It put him in the mood.
But that might be Chris Rock as Donkey. I don't remember which of those that story's about. I don't remember.
Eddie Murphy is Donkey.
Eddie Murphy, Jesus. Well, Bromingo Uncut. I'm fucked.
Uncut, baby. Canceled.
I was saying Chris Rock that whole time, and I meant Eddie Murphy. I was thinking of Eddie Murphy the whole time. I mean, at least they look so much alike. Oh, fuck, I can't say fuck. No, it's Uncut. Fuck. That's not funny.
They both have very iconic voices. I do put them in the same category because they have lots of similar talents.
Well,
stand up, both the voice acting.
They're also like two of the greatest stand-up comedians of
SNL,
all time.
right? Both from SNL.
No, Chris Rock wasn't on SNL.
Wait, what?
Chris Rock was never on SNL.
Oh, I really thought he was.
No. Was he? Maybe I'm wrong.
Chris Rock's special was pretty funny, man. I just watched
the new one?
Yeah, dude. I was actually pretty impressed. I wasn't expecting much, but it was good.
I watched it when it was going live. It was good.
Oh, dude, right? Because that's an uncut special.
Yeah, that was Chris Rock Uncut.
You know what? Because he heard that we were going to do this for episode 90, and he was like, "I got to get on this wave."
Fuck! I can't believe I said Chris Rock instead of Eddie Murphy. Everybody's gonna know that I'm a fucking bigot now. Fuck! All right. We have clearly gone off the rails.
Clearly.
I'm mixing up extremely famous black actors. You're just doing your normal thing.
Right. Unhinged.
Let's step back. Let's give the reins over to a more capable source.
Yep.
An entity that is far more appropriate for the person who should be creating this content. Not even person. Let's bring ChatGPT into the game.
Let's do this.
We've asked ChatGPT to create a script for us for how we should make the podcast going forward. Now, this is ChatGPT's idea of how the podcast should go. We fed it hours and hours and hours and hours of Bromingo footage.
Yep.
That way it would have a good idea of how the show goes, what the vibe is, and what it spit out to us is nothing short of incredible.
It's fantastic. I think from now on, we're going to stop writing our own episodes. I think that from now on, we just do
no more
ChatGPT.
writing. No more writers in general. We're firing the writing staff. We're going to bring in ChatGPT, and hopefully we're going to see a huge uptick in productivity because of this. Because we're going to have great content at the snap of a finger. That's the wild part. Is with the click of a button, we'll have everything we need every week. And this is what it's going to be like, okay?
All right.
This is just a dry test run of how ChatGPT will influence the show moving forward. With the writer's strike going on, it feels appropriate to test this out. This is clearly the future, clearly the wave, and we're going to be riding it right as it fucking crests, baby. We're not going to be left behind.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You want me to start this off, Billy?
Please, I beg you. I beg you to start this off.
Welcome to the podcast, everyone. Today we're talking about the funniest things that have happened to us this past week.
Oh, I have a good one. I was at the grocery store the other day, and I was in the checkout line, and the woman in front of me had a cart full of food, just like hundreds of dollars of groceries, and she was paying with a credit card. The cashier started to ring up her groceries, and then she stopped.
Why did she stop?
Because the woman's credit card was declined.
Oh, no!
Yeah, it was pretty embarrassing. The woman started to argue with the cashier, and then she stormed out of the store.
I bet that was awkward for everyone involved.
It was, but it was also pretty funny.
Well, I'm glad you could find the humor in it.
I have another funny story, too. I was at the park the other day, and I saw a group of kids playing on the swings.
You did not.
And one of the kids was swinging really high, and he lost his grip, and he fell off the swing and landed right on his head.
Oh, no. Was he okay?
Yeah, he was fine. He just got a little scraped up, but it was pretty funny to watch.
Dude, I bet it was.
Yeah, it was. The other kids were all laughing, and he didn't get up. He just laid there unconscious, and one of his fingers started twitching a little bit. And then once the ambulance got there, all the kids stopped laughing, you know? They got real serious all of a sudden, and then they started swinging again.
Well, I'm glad he's okay.
Yeah, me too. Okay, that was scene one, and now we're going to segue brilliantly into scene two.
Okay. Well, those are our stories for today. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for having me, man. It was fun.
We'll be back next week with more funny stories. Until then, stay safe and have a laugh.
This has been the podcast. Thanks for listening.
I think that was better than anything we've ever made.
No, honestly, stay safe and have a laugh. That should stick around. Stay safe and have a laugh is a great little line.
Let's end the episodes with that from now on.
That's a good one. Thank you, ChatGPT. You've brought us such incredible ideas this week. And what did we ask it for? We asked it to write us what it would sound like if Stephen Hawking and Albert Einstein had a conversation. That was the prompt, right?
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
So that is what ChatGPT believes Stephen Einstein and Albert Hawking would talk about if they were given the opportunity somehow miraculously to meet one day. R.I.P. to both of them. R.I.P. to both of them.
Yeah, it told us not to do the voice. It said that would be offensive.
Yeah, it said as a robot, I'm begging you not to do any hack voices, please. I'm begging you.
It actually said don't do that. That would be hack.
That's funny. See, they keep trying to replace writers with fucking AI. What they need to do is they need to replace all the people who, oh wait, those are writers. Fuck. I was going to say all the people who give advice to stand-up comedians, but those are just writers.
Right.
But what I was going to say is, if you had an AI that could just pump out hack, ingenuity, this one's dark, but will work.
Dude, an AI comic would be funny. This is comic who's on America's Got Talent and Kill Tony right now. Dude, he's so funny. He is from Canada, and he has cerebral palsy, so he can't speak. But dude, he types the jokes on his phone, and he is hilarious. He's killing it on America's Got Talent right now.
That's sick. That's cool. That's perfect for that show too.
Yeah, dude, he's super funny.
That checks every box America's Got Talent is looking for.
Who are the judges these days on that show?
Oh, you wouldn't believe. Do you honestly want to know? Do you want me to tell you?
I know one of them, Sofia Vergara.
Okay. I'm not going to say what's right and what's wrong. You just tell me what you think the panel looks like.
All right. I did see a clip recently. Okay, so this isn't a pure guess. I think it's Sofia Vergara, Simon Cowell, and maybe Howie. Maybe Howie's still there.
You're all wrong. Those are all wrong.
Okay,
none of those people are there anymore.
What do we got?
They just had a big shakeup. Now it's Kanye, Tim Pool, and Nick Fuentes. Can you believe that? And they're constantly fucking letting people through. They're surprisingly not that critical.
Hey, well, Kanye towards the end of his career could barely criticize his own work.
He couldn't. It was the ruin of him.
Yeah.
It was quite literally the ruin of Kanye that he couldn't critique his own work. I will say, though, when it comes to Kanye, and then here we're going to do our one cut. Right there is where you're going to cut out the one thing of the episode.
There's be a random jump. The audio listeners won't know, but yeah, no.
But for real, please don't keep in the Chris Rock thing, please.
I think it's an easy mistake, dude.
Blake, please.
No, it's staying in. It's staying in.
It's uncut! Bromingo uncut! Bromingo uncut! Did you hear the bit I was doing earlier? This is by far one of the most egregious examples of me forcing an unfunny thing into the podcast. But did you hear the bit I was doing every time you had to leave to fix a technical difficulty before we started?
Which was like 10 times.
Yeah, like 10 times. Every single time when I knew you didn't have the headphones on, I was going, "Where are you? And I'm so sorry. I cannot sleep. I cannot eat tonight. Look, and this is recording. Hear your voice on treason. Don't waste your time on me."
Dude, that makes me think of a great current event. So there's this whole submarine fiasco.
The submarine, of course. We have to talk about the submarine because if we don't tomorrow, it'll be fucking old news.
It'll be done. It'll be done, dude. It already is old news.
It is done. Let's be honest. It's done, but we can hop on one of the tremors of the aftershocks.
We have to throw in our 2 cents here.
Well, someone at work was talking to me about it today, as in like did you hear about this?
Okay.
Isn't this crazy? So there are still people like catching up on
It's still a little hot.
Nonsense.
So there's a submarine that was controlled by a PlayStation 1 controller, and that has one button on the inside. So I'm guessing it was remotely controlled or whatever, right? But something that I heard that was very funny about this, because everyone's already heard about this mostly, I would assume. A new piece of information that I heard was that one of the people who died on this, their stepson, the next day was at a Blink-182 concert and was being heavily criticized. And I just want to come out and openly support this kid. He did exactly what he should be doing.
This makes me so happy that you've come out in support of him because I know information that you don't.
Okay.
That guy.
Before you say this, let me just say this. Love him. Great guy. Go ahead. Continue.
That guy, and this is totally true, was arrested for stalking DJs in the underground DJ world. He's got a bunch of restraining orders out on him. And I think there were even some sexual assault allegations of some kind at the heart of some of these. And I don't even want to bring that up because I'm not sure, but I do think that was part of it. He is unequivocally a bad guy. Friend of the pod, though. We love him.
It's uncut,
but
baby.
I thought it was super funny that he was going out there and like tweeting at Mark Hoppus, "My dad's in the submarine. Can you please come out and meet me?" That shit's funny as fuck.
Wait,
that's
hold on.
objectively funny.
He was using it as leverage to meet Mark Hoppus?
Yes. Oh, yes. That was like the whole thing. That's the reason people know is he tweeted, "Blink-182 is my favorite band. My dad's in the submarine and I'm here. I think he would want me to be here," or stepdad or whatever. But like that was a big part of it. And then he came out because everybody started talking about like, "Hey, aren't you the guy that I have a restraining order out on because you fucking stalked me? And you're a fucking maniac." And he started putting out response videos being like, "Listen, everybody's talking about how I'm a billionaire and I'm rich. I got $100 to my name, believe it or not." And that's way funnier because that's like, you're a billionaire that's been cut off. You're not even sucking on the golden tit anymore. You're a fucking poor billionaire. You're still a billionaire even if your family cuts you off. You're just a poor one.
Dude, rich people are so cool.
They're a great breed. They're an interesting breed, man. They're an interesting breed. I do love them. I can't act like I'll never forget. I feel like I summed it up really well, and I try to remember this all the time. Our friend James hit us up one time and was like, What the point is sorry, I'm trying to capture the rage. Yeah. What even is the point of rich people? What do we even fucking need them for? They suck. Do we even need rich people? And I was like, only if you want to have fun or get anything done or accomplish a single goddamn thing, you know? Those are the only times you need rich people, man.
Dude, okay, you know what we should do? We should call James, offer him, and you need to completely seriously be like, "Dude, I just hit. Like, I made it big, dude, and I want to give you a bunch of money."
I'm not going to lie. I can't do that. I have too much experience. Here's my thing is I immediately wanted to do that, but that's the dangerous part is I don't want to come across as a fucking narcissist here, but I'll convince him. And then when he finds out it isn't true, he will be so disappointed and lied to and feel hurt. I just ran into one of these problems. In high school, I used to do this all the time. Me and Marissa Soden would start fake fights on Twitter in the morning before school started, and we would tweet at each other in between class all day about how I would call her a cunt, say how fucked up she was, say how she fucking betrayed me. She would be like, "You're a fat loser, fuck you, dork, fuck you, nobody likes you," and we would tweet the meanest things we could think of, line-crossing things, tell all our friends it was real, and the whole time we'd be texting each other, "Ha ha, ha ha, we got him. Everybody thinks we're mad at each other. This is so funny." And then when people would find out, instead of being like, "Oh, ha ha ha," they'd be like, "Wow, my trust is irreparably damaged in you, and you might be a bad person for this." So I got to hold off on those because I've had a good amount of experience. Just the other day, I set up with a buddy of mine. I was like, "Oh, we're getting on a Discord call." And I was like, "Oh, when it starts," he was at my house, but nobody knew he was coming over. So I was like, "When it starts, you be in the other room, just face the blank wall. No one will know you're here. And we'll start a fake fight, and then you come in, punch me in the face." I'm positioning it like it was my idea, but it was his idea, actually. Okay. He was saying this. He was like, "I'm going to do this." I was like, "This is a great idea." And then the fake fight that we started was over him saying I had a disgusting body that no one would love. And so then all our friends got mad at him, and we're like, "Dude, you shouldn't say that's not fucking funny. That was gross. That was mean. Billy's blah, blah, blah." And so then when we tried to do the reveal, everyone was just like, "I'm uncomfortable with what you guys just did. I don't think you should do it again." And so it's like, you got to be careful with these things. Plus, and I might have brought this up on the podcast before, I posted on I hacked my parents' Facebook as a child and posted that they won $100 million. And every single person that they knew called and texted them. And they were so mad. They were so mad.
Wait, why?
You never heard about this?
No.
Well, I posted, and I made it look real, was the dangerous part. I posted Bill on my mom's Facebook. Bill, my father. Bill and I have been waiting to announce this, but we are so blessed to have hit the lottery for over $150 million. We are so excited, like blah, blah, blah. And I even sprinkled in a couple of my mom's classic typos in there so people thought it was her. Yeah. And then every fucking person they know called them. Their phones, And this is pre-iPhone. We all had flip phones and fucking slide phones.
Yep.
And my parents' phones were shaking on the table, nonstop, call after call. And they were like, "What have you done? What did you do?" They had to go on and be like, "This was not real. Sorry for everyone who feels lied to."
I recently did a prank Facebook post. I don't often post, but I went into the Real Swansea MA Facebook group.
Excellent place to start.
Yep, and I posted a picture of a hornet's nest that was underneath my my bar in the back patio, right? So I had ChatGPT write me up a prompt, write me up a post, right? Basically saying, guys, I have bees. They're making liquid gold, delicious honey. Anyone who wants this can come and get it. First come, first serve. Come and get these liquid. Come and get the liquid gold, baby. Like, you know, like shit like that. And basically saying that, like, you guys can be environmental stewards. Like you can help save the environment and take care of these bees. And everyone starts commenting, bro, those are hornets. That's a hornet's nest. You need to kill them. And I kept it going, man. I was responding like, hey, man, look, call them whenever you want, man. They're free. Come and get them. And some people got awesome. It, but the funniest part was the people who didn't get it, man. Because I had a coworker come in the next day and was like, hey, man, anyone ever pick up those bees?
Speaking of your coworkers, you said one of your coworkers mentioned the AEW clip that I sent you, the wrestling clip.
Oh, my God, yes.
Isn't that incredible?
Dude, it is great. Yeah, I have a coworker, Nick. We're actually going to start our own show. I'll get to that soon. Nice. I'll mention that after. But basically, yeah, no, he's a huge wrestling fan, and his enthusiasm for wrestling mixed with my desire to want to be into wrestling, because I never was as a kid, but I've always been interested in it, and I love the fun of it. It's as violent as it is, right? It's also in a weird way like good, clean fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
it's very
at your
wholesome
heart
in a
of hearts, you're a theater kid, you know?
Right.
And
yeah.
it's theater. It's theater.
It's just it's entertainment, man. I love that. And I want to be into it, but I'm just not. I don't know the wrestlers. I don't know the stories. I don't know the bloodlines, you know?
Yeah, sure. Well, that means you know something if you're saying bloodline.
Well, I heard a bloodline just got all fucked up, man. Because I talked to Nick about it all the time, about the wrestling and shit, right? Dude, and yeah, he told me about this, and I was like, that's amazing, because I told him about how when we went to Little Mania, people were chanting, he's too big, he's too big. So then this wrestler, right? I don't know, what's his name?
Oh, his name is let me find his. I don't want to fuck his name up. I'm gonna fuck it up if I try and say it.
He's an openly gay wrestler, right? It's known, but then he mentions it as part of the show, right? He mentions it to when he's on stage, right? Or in the ring, and then everyone starts cheering, and they're going.
It's a segment where a woman is trying to accuse him of being into her.
Oh,
and so
okay.
he's going, lady, I don't know if you know this, but I'm gay.
And the whole crowd starts going, he's gay, he's gay.
And they're going, well, the clip is monumental. Genuinely, it's like a piece of history, because it's him going, I'm gay, and the crowd going, yeah! Woo! That's in wrestling. The wrestlers call that a pop. A pop is when you get the crowd to go fucking crazy. Yeah, I was gonna fuck up his name. I was gonna say Max Caster, which is his tag team partner, but his name is and I already
hold on. Define tag team partner.
Anthony Balance is all right. Nice one.
Oh wait, hold on. ChatGPT just said that was hack.
ChatGPT is explaining to you why you cannot make that joke anymore. Oh my God. Wait until they try to say ChatGPT is woke. I guarantee it happens in the next 2 years. I fucking guarantee.
I'm Googling it right now. It's already happened.
It's probably already happened, yeah. Anthony Bowens, great wrestler, really good on the microphone, really fucking talented. And what the reason why I say it's monumental with a totally straight face is it has happened.
It's on the verge. As conservatives criticize woke AI, here are ChatGPT's rules for answering culture war queries.
Woke AI, let's go.
It's already happening, because the second they hear something they don't like, they're like, "Oh, it's woke." Like that's
woke. That's fucking woke.
It's the woke mind virus.
Yeah, it's so woke when I burn my toast in the morning. There's a history of gay wrestling gimmicks, a long history. Wrestling has sort of always used flamboyance as a way to create characters. The issue is that for time immemorial in wrestling history, gay characters have been heels, bad guys, always. If you are, especially straight men, have played gay men and then, use that as an easy way to get the crowd to hate them. Because, prejudice.
Right.
So this being a gay man whose gimmick is just, I'm a good wrestler, his gimmick is not, I'm a flamboyant gay man. He just happens to be gay.
Right.
For him to say he's gay, and you see the crowd is every type. It's every type of person you could imagine.
Dude,
that's what's brilliant. It's like every person from every walk of life. It's just an incredible moment seeing those people loving him for being gay. You know what I mean?
Dude, but people of all ages and genders, dude, everyone loves this shit. It's a very diverse audience a lot of times at these things. And my friend Nick, who I was just talking about, dude, he went to Monday Night Raw with his mom.
Yeah. I mean, it's so funny because wrestling in its, not in this era's earliest days, but in the previous era of wrestling when everything was broken up around the country into small territorial businesses, those were infamously, you got hella old ladies at those shows. It was there's a term in wrestling called the stunt granny, which is this idea of an old woman that you put in the crowd to do something with. She's in on it.
Right.
It's that's how much old people were a part of it. And also women. I think wrestling fans now, you think of wrestling fans, you think of a nerd who looks like me. You know what I mean? You think of a guy who looks like he's as stinky as I am. So for to think that in the 80s and 70s, wrestling was a big part of the wrestling fandom was women who were into these wrestlers, with crushes and the like. It's interesting. It's just fascinating.
So let's talk about the stink, man. You brought it up again. Where are we at on the stink levels?
I think we're approaching a 9. I think I'm stinky as hell. No, I've stank way worse than this. It's not actually that bad. I feel it. I'm just starting to feel the stink. I also, woo, I smell. I can't even put it into words, bro.
Dude, I was smelling pretty bad today, dude. And also my skin is peeling from the sunburn, dude. I look like a greasy, oily, stinky mess all day.
You look like if E.T. had eczema.
Dude, yeah, for real. I had to take care of it before the episode, man. I had to shake this off, man. I worked until 2 a.m. last night.
That's brutal.
I worked from 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. running sound for a hard rock. Oh, I'm getting paid, Billy? Guess how much I made? $50. $50, man. Dude.
Oh, no.
And it was for a hard rock cover band who is basically playing Evanescence, Buck Cherry, Nickelback. Occasionally some stuff I like, Rage Against the Machine, Alice in Chains. But, dude, the geek is part of the whole thing. This bar is in Warwick, right?
Yeah.
Warwick, Rhode Island. I walk in immediately. I'm taken back because they have a Kid Rock cutout right next to a "Don't Tread on Me" flag, and on the opposite side of the stage they have a Blue Lives Matter flag.
Oof.
And these guys close their set with "Killing in the Name of."
That is so funny. Is that the clip you sent me of "Killing in the Name of" with the blue lights? I'm just remembering that you even sent that right now.
Yes, and I'm zooming in on these things. I'm like, you guys see what's going on right now. In front of a Blue Lives Matter flag, these middle-aged people are just screaming about racist cops.
Wasn't it Paul Ryan, who we've already mentioned in this episode, who was my favorite band is Rage Against the Machine? And
he got asked,
Tom Morello.
Yeah, he got asked in an interview what he likes to work out to because he works out a lot, I guess, or he did.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, yeah, Rage Against the Machine. And Tom Morello was like, hey, Paul Ryan, eat shit.
You're the machine, pal.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy, you're the machine.
But, dude, love Tom Morello, man, but that guy's cringy in his own way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was actually just watching an interview with him from the early 2000s, and he was saying, like, I was the DJ of the band. It's just that I didn't have tables. I had a guitar, And I was thinking to myself, like, bro, this is fucking hysterical. This is so funny. But then they're intersplicing it with clips of him doing the coolest shit you've ever seen. So then it just sort of melts away how corny and funny it is. Because he's like, okay, he's the DJ. I see it.
Yeah, but also his style in another band is just noise. You know what I mean? It worked. He had the right thing going. But there's people who consider him to be like on the Mount Rushmore of guitarists. And like I love Rage, dude. And I like Tom Morello too. But I don't see it that way.
Who's your Mount Rushmore of guitarists? Your opinion would interest me.
Oh shit, dude. See, I don't really have that. I don't really have that in mind, man. Jerry Cantrell, Alice in Chains.
Okay, that's a good one. It's
a
personal one.
He's really good. Tony Iommi, Black Sabbath.
Smart. That's a good pick.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. And here's the thing, like I said, I really do like Tom Morello, but I guess as far as like chops goes, Gary Clark Jr. He's I don't know if he's on Mount Rushmore though, man, because he's doing a blues style, which you'd have to give that to someone else who did the blues before him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We'll slap Prince. We'll slap Prince and Jimi Hendrix up there.
Yeah,
we'll
sure.
Call it a day.
Great. Yeah,
we'll call that one a day. That's good. That's a good Mount Rushmore. That they should replace the real Mount Rushmore with those four guys. That'd be sick.
I think the thing for me is that it's my pick for my guitarist Mount Rushmore. It's too personal to me. It's all about who I like and what I listen to. It's not really about if we had one of my friends from work on here, they could actually tell you like, oh, it's like this guy and that guy and that guy. Like because of chops and ingenuity, shit like that.
But your opinion is what I was interested in. So
yeah, for me, it's more just like who are my favorite guitarists, not who I actually think were the best ever.
Yeah. Well, I know we've already brought up wrestling, and I don't want it to feel like we had all this prepared, but I've got something to show you, buddy.
All right, let's see it, dude. What do you got?
Yeah!
Hit the theme song!
Segment. Hit the theme song. Welcome to...
Pause the move. Pause for the theme.
The air is hot. Tell me, brother, what do we got? What do we got?
All right, that's probably enough time.
That's probably enough time, right? So what I've sent you is one of the wildest gimmicks in wrestling history. This was a very short-lived gimmick. This was, and I don't know, how uncut are we? Are we going to be able to show this to the audience, or do I have to describe it?
I'll have time to throw them in, but I think you should describe it for the audio listeners.
Okay, so for the audio listeners, this is Mike Awesome, a good wrestling name, Mike Awesome. That's a good one.
Excellent.
And he had a little nickname slapped on him for the months of July and August of the year 2000. Very short-lived gimmick. He was the Fat Chick Thriller, Mike Awesome. And that is a completely horrific idea of what to make a character out of. There's a reason it didn't last more than a month and a half. But because I've heard in the past from you that you have a tertiary interest in wrestling, you're curious and getting to know more about it, I figured I would bring in one of the true oddities in wrestling history, the Fat Chick Thriller, Mike Awesome. I don't think it'll surprise you to hear that he did not keep this gimmick for long and did not work much after getting this gimmick. This was kind of a career killer. He really just kind of bounced. He had been a big deal for a long time going up to this point. I'm making it more about the Fat Chick Thriller. It was sort of a gradual process that this was a big part of, but this man did not succeed.
What you sent me, I'm seeing a wrestler, a pretty normal looking wrestler, with two lovely robust women behind him.
Yes.
The next photo, I'm seeing a mountain of sandwiches and burgers.
Yeah, it looks like roast beef.
It does. Yep. And
looks like it's just bread and roast beef, which sounds nasty. That's the sort of sandwich I would have made as like an 8-year-old. I would have just put as much roast beef as I could fit between 2 buns and eaten it.
And in this last picture, he's just feeding a woman.
Yeah, he is just feeding a woman. I think when you mentioned earlier that wrestling's just good, clean fun, you forgot the part where for most of wrestling's history, it was bad, dirty damage. It was bad, dirty, and evil. But yeah, I find this interesting, and I'm going to presume something here, but if I had to make a guess, I would guess that someone on the creative team saw that Mike Awesome probably had a normal-looking wife who looks like this and proposed to him that he become the fat chick thriller. And then when you're in that position, it's very hard to say no. But I don't know what his wife looks like, so that's just an assumption. But knowing wrestlers and wrestling bookers, I would have to assume that someone met his wife and tried to turn it into a character and then realized that not only was it a bad idea, but it was potentially the worst idea of all time. And would it surprise you if I told you Mike Awesome took his own life only 7 years after this, after he had been kicked out of the wrestling industry and tried to do real estate for like 6 months? Genuinely killed himself. Really sad. So this episode's dedicated to Mike Awesome.
Wow. They say that about the real estate industry, man. It chews you up and spits you out.
It chews you up and it hangs you up to dry. So I will say, though, Mike Awesome is a huge piece of wrestling history, especially in Japan. It was a big deal in Japan, a huge deal in the late 90s. And then a bunch of companies just didn't know what to do with him.
Yeah.
Fucked him up really bad and then cut him out because this world is a cruel place that will spit you up and chew you right out.
Right. And
that's been Bromingo. Stay safe and have a laugh.
Thanks for coming to our show. It's time to go. We hope you liked our episode. It's Bromingo.
What's up, Brominglers? We hope you've been staying safe, having those laughs aplenty. We're here with the post show. It's me, Billy Broder, and my genuinely beautiful host, and the man who brings joy to my life when all others leave it, Blake Rakowski. Blake, thanks for coming on the post show.
What's up, everybody?
Thanks for doing all this great work all the time. Thanks
you.
for keeping the show alive. Thanks for having me, as always. And now I just want to circle back to something that we didn't quite get to explore in the show.
Sure.
The submarine, which this is our window. This is our only time to talk about it. So I'm glad we dove in to the scumbag, billionaire stepson, broke-ass, stalker weirdo.
Yep.
What I'd like to talk about more is that PlayStation controller that we mentioned.
Yes.
So point one, and most important, that PlayStation controller, extremely standard. Not the craziest part of the submarine. I think a lot of people, heard about this is what happened with me. I saw the controller. I was like, this is a fucking rinky-dink operation.
Yeah.
That's got to be so emblematic of how rinky-dink it is.
But it's so much more rinky-dink.
The reality is that that's one of the only things about the device that makes sense. The PlayStation controller is actually a pretty common controller for these sorts of like things that people need to learn to pilot. I feel like I read one time that fucking drone strikes, they use game controllers sometimes, which is so pathetically fucked up.
Yeah.
But
wow.
I doubt it's a PS1. You know what I mean? It's like something else. Who
They
knows?
definitely got Xbox One controller, at least.
Yeah,
at minimum.
At least a fucking Xbox One. But I wanted to say, man, fucking that kid that was in there, the 19-year-old, that fucking sucks, man. That fucking sucks.
That does suck, man. It
sucks.
Yeah. That's terrible.
Like, not gonna lie, billionaires who've taken that ride a bunch of times, it's kind of funny that they die because it's like they've seen it before and they didn't have to go.
Right.
And it's the Titanic, So rich people, even though in the Titanic, it's mostly rich people that got saved. You know what I'm saying? If you remember the end of that movie, Jack dies, Rose lives.
It wasn't the people shoveling the coal into the furnace.
No. Those people got washed away. But I will say some of the funniest stuff in recent history, this submarine thing. James Cameron commenting on it, hysterical. hysterical. The fact that it's bolted from the outside, hysterical. Just funny. Just a funny thing.
Yeah. It's almost like they should have seen this coming. Like,
yeah. A friend at work was saying that all the reviews for the controller on Amazon, there were people pretending to be the guys in the submarine, and the owner of Ocean Gate being like, can't get this to connect, and I think I'm in a lot of trouble. Anyone have any ideas how to make this work? And he said he went and checked it again, and Amazon has removed them. But I thought that was hysterical.
My DualShock 2 controller.
My DualShock 2 controller is about to cause a massive implosion. Any way I can get out of this without having to buy a new console. This has been so much fun, and I'm going to be really, really late for what I have to go to next because I love our fans more than anything, mainly because most of them are actual blood kin of mine. But it's still true. I love them to death. I want to see them fucking thrive. Thanks for listening.